my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, moving. We making movies, moving, moving, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder, harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, who we? One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, who we? One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you got.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They start the drive with Cook. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Now, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
They go play action. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Shifts past him. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Every now and then I can speak from experience, because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes, because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
A run here for J.D. McKissic, and he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now trying to pick it up on 3rd. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Sly able to put this one through, and the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, putting together a good drive to get some points of their own.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Play fake. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he makes it all the way down to the 19. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touching not a finger on him until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there as you outlined.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll go out of bounds, but 10 yards inside of enemy territory at the 40. Great return.
At just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's at the 40, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on that one with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll run with McKesson, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll go play action. Howell. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy. And the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Cousins to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sure, that pass was incomplete. They made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing here, Howell. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. 11 yards there, just like last play. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Howell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. They go play action with Howell. And this one is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Fourth down, Howell. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Cousins gives way to Cook. Nifty move. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. On play action, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times we talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterwards. I know he's trying to make a play, but that time he ends up drawing the flag.
To throw is Cousins. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Second and short now following the fumble. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's taken on the 25. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, this certainly feels like complimentary football to me, partner, because the momentum from the team's touchdown drive looks like it's made its way over to the defense. They're working together in tandem now. Offense gets in the end zone, defense with a big sack on the first play of the following drive.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Powell looking long for Thomas. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And they'll set up shop right now. At the 49-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Second down, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Here we go, here we go. Deal.
A carry now for McKissick. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches, just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. 3rd and long for Cousins. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 152 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They will run it. It's McKissick. Room here to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On first down, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cousins. This ball complete to Thielen going across the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, going for Jefferson downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Play action now. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 36 yards. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to get the football back at their own 17. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week.
And now here is another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Cousins here to throw. And that is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Here we go. Bring the energy.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down, Vikings. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Cousins again. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Eddie Piñeiro sends the kickoff.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here this way.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Vikings, the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Washington, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.